Map number 1, Overpass, Furia versus iNTACT, ESEA Season 29 Advanced Finals. I am GRT, guys. I do hope you're going to enjoy the show as we get underway here in the pistol round. Speaking of pistol rounds, you got to watch out for Spongy, who on Overpass a couple of matches ago, in round number 2 in the playoffs, had 9 of the 10 pistol frags for iNTACT. Willmeister and Turismo walking out here towards Fountain. And iNTACT spread it across the map. Drop the bomb right outside of T-spawn, so not committing to either site just yet. Turismo walking up. And Turismo's been spot on the playoffs so far too. 125 frags for himself and an ADR of 96. The leader right now in the playoffs for KDR though is Spongy. 1.81. Turismo going into that B site. You see the smokes coming in for iNTACT. Now they're going to try to make a play. AbleJ gets the first frag of the round on Swan. Now it's up to Turismo to try and get a response, and he does up close at Sandbags. AbleJ falls. 4v4. Bomb plant coming in. And Turismo's looking for more. He could get it. Vinny peeking around the corner at Sandbags. Turismo spots him out, then goes to the pit. Maybe the right play. Get a lot of angles to cover at pit. Turismo waiting patiently, and iNTACT is not being too aggressive here. Wisely, I would say. Willmeister gets a second. Turismo finds a third, and now it's 3v2. Vinny's down to 10, and Yuri at 74 HP. Vinny coming in from Sandbags. iNTACT could take this first round if they play it smart. Oh, Yuri, nice headshot. Then he gets a second. Yuri's waking up early here. Spongy is now the last one standing. They're going to try and stick the defusal, but Spongy has the angle, and Spongy gets the 2K. What a fast and furious first round, and exactly what I was expecting of this one. It's going to be like that all night long, I think. But anyway, Furia falls in the first round, but it was very close. Spongy, again, like I said, you got to watch out for the pistol rounds. 1-0 in favor of iNTACT. Let's get it going here in round number 2. iNTACT really competent with those MAC-10s in the anti-eco, and even in the buy rounds, they use it for bonus rounds very often. MP9 as well. 2 AKs bought up early on here for iNTACT. Over on Furia, they're going for the full save. Probably going to get those M4s out in round number 3. As iNTACT going to go aggressively here towards Long A. Willmeister farms 1 frag with the MAC-10 on Vinny. He took a lot of damage over at Long A, though. You see on the Swan, only 58. Willmeister at 36 and Turismo at 65. See if Furia can maybe find one here. Willmeister gets his second. Touchdown on Yuri, then a third. Willmeister has built up quite a bit of money in this round. So far, I believe he's got about 1,500 built up. Cerrado firing away, finds one, but then goes down immediately. And Art is now the last one standing, and it's not going to be for long. Willmeister secures the 4K on the round and adds 2,100 to his bank account. 2-0 in favor of iNTACT, guys. Third round of play, Art's going to rock the AUG. 4 M4A4s rounded the buy for Furia. And they're going to get going here, as mentioned. iNTACT only 1 upgrade, and that's Swan. Not surprising to see him rock the up. Swan, the main opper for iNTACT. And you'll see Spongy as the alternate opper. Probably at some point in this match. Turismo walking in here towards the connector, and I think I saw a bit of an aggressive play there. Yeah, already up at short A. Is Willmeister behind the smoke. Yuri waiting. Someone to try and push him. AJ grenade thrown doesn't do too much damage to him. And Furia being pretty patient, not too aggressive, aside from Yuri, who's pushed up here at short A. Everyone else at the sites. See a couple of Furia members working into construction. Maybe just get some information and some map control. And Turismo might challenge that. In the meantime, though, Yuri does find the first frag of the round. Swan goes down. There goes the op. We'll see if someone decides to pick that one up. Yuri down to 17 HP after engaging with Swan. Swan likely legging him. Shake. Coming out of bathrooms and finds a 2K. Yuri and Art go down to the MAC-10. What did I tell you guys? iNTACT can really run with them. Able. Gonna respond with one on Willmeister, but a 3v3. Bomb gonna get planted at the A site. Cerrado comes out from Z connector, doesn't expect Spongy to be there, and Spongy finds a third for iNTACT. AbleJ and Vinny now going for the retake. AbleJ, no slouch, gets the headshot on Shake. Now gonna throw the smoke into bathrooms, and Spongy and Turismo are waiting to prevent this bomb plant from being defused. AbleJ over the smoke, but Spongy with a 2K. Then Turismo wraps it up with the third on Vinny, and iNTACT looking strong so far. That first buy-up from Furia did not go anywhere for them. 3-0 for iNTACT. So far, so good for iNTACT, but honestly, Furia has been in every single round. We'll see what they do here. Likely, of course, going to be on a pistol save. 5-7 Deagle bought up. The rest default P2000, I believe, on Art's side. Don't see that very often anymore, but USPS has rounded out. And a round pause going to be called. It's like I was saying, Able J, no slouch on the squad. 111 frags so far in the playoffs and 15 frags per match in the season. He had 193 with 16.08 frags per match. So, I mean, really pretty much everyone on Furia can carry their own. But the ones to watch, as mentioned, K. Serrato, assuming he picks up his game here, and Yuri, who already has. Fourth round of play underway here. Pause has ended. 2 Deagles, a 5-7, and a CZ on Furia's end. Art and K. Serrato going aggressively towards the B side. And you see a B stack coming in here by Furia, taking a bit of a chance. We'll see how iNTACT goes out here. Swan is really exposed if Able J pushes him here. Art throwing a quick flashbang. Now Swan's going to have to turn around. Gets the op frag close range, but Vinny takes him out. Swan, no, actually, no, sorry. Vinny took out Spongy. Swan survived and got 2 more. Art does finally take down Swan, but Swan doing the damage there. Unfortunately, he gives away an op and an AK loss there for iNTACT. So you could say mission accomplished for Furia, who were coming in here spending very little money in the round. iNTACT now going to go for the A play here. Turismo trying to get control of that site as his team is going to join up with him shortly. I don't know how Swan survived that engagement. I honestly thought when I saw the S, it was him that went down, but he was just kicking away. Turismo gets Art. That leaves only Vinny with the AK, and that's a nice little turnaround that corner. They already got spotted out once there by Spongy. Not going to happen a second time. Vinny gets the headshot, and now a 2v1. Still winnable for Furia, as it has been in every single round so far. Turismo and Shake setting up for a potential crossfire here. Turismo waiting for someone to push up. Oh, gives away his position a little early, but it doesn't matter. Turismo going to turn the corner, get the headshot. 2 for him on the round. 4-0 in favor of iNTACT. Turismo, no stranger to those multi-kill rounds. He has 29 in the regular season. I think that's top on both sides. Indeed it is. Most 3-kill plus rounds in the regular season go to Turismo. Of course, that was only 2, but I'm sure we'll see the 3Ks coming in soon. 4-0. As Turismo walks out here looking for more. 1:42 on the clock. In the chat, seeing Overpass is Furia's worst mapped. Honestly, yeah, and I mean, I think that's what iNTACT might have seen as well. And I kind of agree. They don't play it that much. They've only played it once this season. And of course, excuse me, twice this season. They won once, lost once. And they have 28 rounds for and 23 rounds against on Overpass, only +5. And of course, the reason that the rounds for are so low is because they just played in their previous match against Final Feature. And like mentioned earlier, lost 16-12. iNTACT taking their time here in round number 5. Furia going to be on the full buy up here. 2 AUGs coming out, 2 M4A4s, and the AWP in Art's hands. So Art down to 74. It's iNTACT moving their way up bathrooms. iNTACT now going to execute here onto the A site. They have 2 members sneaking up from long. That could catch Art off guard, but he hears the footsteps, gets wall banged anyway, and then Willmeister finishes it off against Art. Able J responds, 4v4. Furia still kicking. Swan, though, comes out with Turismo, simultaneously taking down 2 Furia members, and the A site defense is gone. Swan with the 2K. K. Serrato going to have to rotate around and make some magic happen. If he wants to get his team into this match and start getting going in the playoffs, now's a good time. Swan down to 31, Turismo 92, and Spongy 86. So still a lot of HP left. K. Serrato looking at the economy. A save is not a bad idea. Yeah, it looks like he's just going to go for the exit frags and wait it out. So iNTACT going to secure a 5th round victory. And Swan actually does spot out K. Serrato, so no save. Swan gets the 3K. 5-0 for iNTACT. And I was saying earlier on in the chat, guys, that I saw the odds on, I think it was HLTV, something like 86% in favor of Furia, and I felt like that was severely underestimating iNTACT, because for me, the odds should be about 50-50. Both these teams can square off against each other pretty equally. We did see a regular season matchup between Furia and iNTACT, and that went to Furia by a scoreline of 16-7, but There have been roster changes for iNTACT since then. iNTACT was playing with Noxio and Optimus at that time. As another pause is going to come in here, guys. But now they have Willmeister and Spongy who have come into the mix to replace those. Willmeister replacing Noxio in terms of gameplay style, and he's the entry, and Spongy replacing Optimus as the lurk and secondary op. So it's the second match pause, but here we go. Underway, 6th round of play, and I'm going to get back to the stats for Willmeister and Spongy since they've joined iNTACT in a little bit, but let's get back to the action here. Turismo, Swan, 3 members actually of iNTACT going towards Monster. Able J down to 18. I think that was some wallbang action coming in. Able J just barely surviving. Furia on a pistol armor buy up here. There's the first frag going to Shake. That's in lower B tunnels as Art falls. 5v4 quickly for iNTACT. Should be their round to win, but honestly, Furia is so strong on their pistol rounds, anything can happen. Often I've seen Furia roll with the Zeus on their saves, get that Zeus frag to mix things up and charge in with the pistols. They're trying to do something here with a flashbang into Monster, but nothing happening just yet. K-Serrata with a nice little Deagle headshot on Turismo, but that's all that Furia has seen so far. You saw Able J firing away at Swan, getting him down to 11, but again, unable to deal the killing blow. K-Serrata and Able J, 82 HP combined. And now it's going to be only the 66 HP of K-Serrata, but he picked up an AK and he got the frag on Willmeister, so K-Serrata going to need an ace to pull this one off. iNTACT is spread out. They're going to have to regroup and pick a site, but like you see, Swan and Spongy very lit, so those are 2 easy frags for K-Serrata. The only one who's going to spell some trouble is Shakezilla with 100 HP. Bomb gets planted over on the A site, and now K-Serrata has to again think, do I try to go for this one or save the gun? As mentioned before, save, not a bad idea, and it looks like that's what he's going to do. I wonder if he knew that Swan and Spongy only had 27 HP combined if he would go for it. But it's not going to happen. iNTACT is going to win their 6th round in a row, and the full loss bonus is coming in. For Furia, that is. I see a question in the chat. Might as well answer it since we have some time. What mic do I use to cast? I use the Heil, I believe it's pronounced H-E-I-L PR40. If you ever want to buy it. It's my favorite mic that I've used so far. It cost a pretty penny, but it was worth it. 6-0 for iNTACT as we head into round number 7. Let's check out that scoreboard since we haven't yet. Turismo leading the charge, as is the norm so far in the playoffs, aside from a few outliers. 8-2. 6-1 for Spongy, also pretty hot in the playoffs, and Swan 6-4. Everyone contributing here. Shake has actually been at the bottom of the frag list for the first time in a while, I would say, in the playoffs, but it doesn't really matter. He's the IGL, and he can focus more on calling strats while the rest of his team takes care of the frag as Swan finds the first one over on Vinny there with the AWP. 5v4. Again, initial frag going to iNTACT. I think Furia has only had the first frag once so far. Art jumping down here and going to be joining his teammate at Sniper Nest. Turismo getting a flashbang ready, but then gets flashed himself, and K-Serrata peeks around at the perfect time to get that frag. Response coming in for Furia. Now a couple of HEs going into Canal. Swan and Shake coming up slowly but surely. 1:01 on the clock. Able J spots out Swan, looking good for Furia here. Good responses coming in after losing the first member in the round. K-Serrata thinking about it, Shakes right around the corner, but backs off. Willmeister in construction. iNTACT kind of spread out here. They will be trying to regroup, likely in Monster. I'm not sure if Shake is going to fall back or not. They have 40 seconds left, still time to get back to the A site if they want to. But you see them slowly creeping up to Shake's position. This is a B hit. Furia waiting patiently on the B site. 2 members there, 2 members on A. I think that only 1 member on A is Yuri's watching from Sniper Nest. Shake gets 1, but he gets traded out immediately, or at least Willmeister gets traded out by Yuri. 3v2. Able J finds Shake leaving, only Spongy standing, and Spongy's going to have to get the 3K with the op. There's 1, but he takes damage in the engagement, down to 63. Looking for more. 8 seconds left, trying to get a second one, perhaps on Able J and plant the bomb, but not going to happen. If he had finished off Able J right before that, could have got it, but Art gets the final frag, and Furia are on the board with their first 6-1 in favor of iNTACT, heading into round number 8. Saw Spongy fall there, but so far so good for Spongy and Willmeister since they joined iNTACT 12 maps ago. Willmeister with 239 frags, Spongy with 226, and Willmeister having 1.51 KDR and a 94.5 ADR. Is action happening quickly here on that B site. Again, the wall bang coming in for iNTACT. Just finished out those stats. Spongy is 1.66 in terms of KDR, and Furia Art gets the opening frag on Turismo. Aggressive play up towards long A. I guess my point is Willmeister and Spongy were great pickups for iNTACT. They added so much value. Even though, for those of you who followed iNTACT throughout the season, Optimus was a very solid player. He just didn't work out, I think, personality-wise, and the way he communicated perhaps in-game. It's just a chemistry thing for Optimus. Willmeister was a very worthy replacement for that, and they're working a lot better with him. As Caserado going to get the quick trade. Shake finding one as well. 4v3. iNTACT again going for this B hit. Able J trying to stop them once more, but he won't this time. Spongy comes out with the headshot. 3v3. Vinny waiting behind the sandbags now. As Art going to try and come in from the flank. Shake takes out Vinny, then closes the door knowing that someone might be coming, and that really kind of ruins Art's flank, but he's going to make it work anyway. Oh, I thought he would get the no-scope on Shake, but doesn't. Shake, very quick flick around and gets the immediate trade. 2v1, and Shake has 3 on the round. Coming out when they need him. Yuri, the last one standing in Sniper Nest. And so far, Yuri 6 and 7. Below the 500 mark, but he's a threat. No doubt about it. Yuri coming around here as the bomb getting planted on default. Could find one on Shake pretty easily, and does. Flicks around looking for Spongy as well, but can't find him just yet. Throws that smoke on the bomb. Could try to stick it. Oh, turns away just at the wrong moment. The timing in favor of Spongy, and Spongy gets the last frag of the round. iNTACT fully reset the economy of Furia 7-1 in favor of iNTACT. 9th round of play, and iNTACT is looking very strong. They've been looking forward to this all season long, the rematch with Furia. And really, those 2 losses came up against, I think, 2 of the best teams that were in Advanced and Massed Esports. They lost to Massed Esports 16-14, then to Furia 16-7. Massed Esports playing right now for a spot, the final spot in the MDL relegation tournament. I think they're going to get it. And of course, Furia here, which will be either in MDL next season or in the relegation tournament, depending on how this match plays out. Art with the scout. Nice headshot on Willmeister. And backs off. It's a pistol armor buy-up here for Furia, minus that scout. Now the scout is gone, though, as Turismo wastes no time spraying Art down. 4v4. iNTACT. Moving in now to long A. See Able J trying to rotate around to support his team. Turismo's going to find a second. Looking for the third now. Gets Caserado down to 38 and backs off to default as he sees 2 members of Furia coming in. Turismo 3. Maybe 4. Vinny's trying to charge forward, and he just keeps on finding them, dropping them like dominoes. Turismo with the 4K. Caserado trying to flee for his life now. He has a defuse kit, a molly, a deagle, and full body armor. Likely want to try and save that into the next round, but Turismo just does it all by his lonesome, clearing out that A site, and Caserado is indeed going to back off and save what he has. So iNTACT going to take the 8th round of this half and already have secured the first half in terms of rounds 1. Looking at Caserado's scoreline, 5 and 7, as mentioned. He hasn't been the player that I think Furia was hoping for in the playoffs. Yuri has picked up his game to step in as the fragger, but still I think they want to see a lot more from Caserado, especially against a team like iNTACT. Their toughest matchup so far, without a doubt, in these playoffs. Discord link is broken. I think you might want to talk to iNTACT GG in the chat. They will be able to help you out, Lucas. Maps tonight, as you see in the chat, Overpass, Mirage, and Inferno. iNTACT has played Overpass, Mirage in every single matchup in the playoffs. And they're 6-0. Have not dropped a map yet. Caserado moving in here. A very aggressive push here for Furia up towards Fountain. And they're going to try and get in on the flank. think iNTACT might be suspecting it's coming because no one is at that B site. Shake waiting patiently for exactly that to happen. I think he has a flashbang primed and ready to throw. Either a flashbang or a molly. Bomb going to tick away, and yeah, iNTACT's going to back off. They don't want anything to do with that, knowing that something's up at T-spawn. Shake just going to throw a molly to make sure they can't get chased down and lose any weapons. iNTACT just going to be happy to keep all their weapons into that next round. Willmeister was ready for the save. He had the MAC-10 locked and loaded, but didn't need it. 9-1 in favor of iNTACT. Yeah, and Furia in the chat mentioning Furia lost the map to Final Feature. I've said it a couple of times, but it's their first map loss of the season, and actually results in them not being undefeated in the playoffs, giving iNTACT that edge, at least if you want to look at maps won. Furia's journey here, if you guys are curious, was a 2-0 victory against Team Livid, the number 16 seed. Then a 2-0 victory against Massed Esports, number 8 seed, but that one was really close, 16-10 and 16-14. And finally against Final Feature, 2-1, 16-12 on Overpass, 16-10 on Train, and 16-5 on Mirage. That's something to note. Furia is very strong on Mirage, as you're going to see Turismo spraying through the wall towards that B site. I'm very interested in seeing how that plays out. Yuri going to get the frag on Willmeister. Back and forth, crazy action here in construction, and it ends as a 2v2. Turismo finds 2 frags. Able J, Vinny, and Yuri coming in with the frags on Furia. Queserato and Vinny up against Swan and Spongy. Only one member on that B site for Furia, and one on A, so no trade will come in. It'll be one and done maximum here for Furia on either bomb site. Queserato waiting patiently on Canal for someone to come in. I like the angle he's playing. We'll see what Swan and Spongy decide to do. They do have 2 smokes remaining, and where those smokes end up could decide if they go down here. Queserato cannot beat out Swan. He has the quicker trigger finger, gets the frag, and that leaves only Vinny standing, who's pushed up towards Z connector. That is a hell of a shot there by Swan. Slowly peeking and still manages to flick around and find it. One of the best oppers, if not the best opper in ESEA Advanced. Swan. It's back facing the sandbags, and Vinny takes advantage of it, just sprays on through. I think the smoke fade was to his advantage. Now Spongy, the last one standing in a 1v1. Spongy around the corner, great timing. He goes around that pillar, finds Vinny, and iNTACT. Double-digit round victories, 10-1. I gotta be honest, I was expecting it to be a little bit closer, and Furia for them to find a few more rounds here on Overpass, but iNTACT is just rolling along pretty much uncontested. Another match pause coming in, the third of the match, and I think it's all on Furia's end because iNTACT really have no reason to call a timeout. Everything's going their way. And check out that frag leader once more, Turismo, 14-5. And Turismo, coming into this one, had 125 frags, plus 47 in terms of kills to deaths, and 96 ADR. Turismo's just been the ADR king for iNTACT, going all the way back to ESEA main last season, when it was actually iNTACT that was undefeated at 16-0, and they went into the final matchup losing only one map in round number 3, or in the I should say round number 4, since it was a few more rounds in ESEA main, but still, it's interesting to see that kind of comparison between both these teams, showing how strong they both are. But here we go. Furia on a pistol armor buy-up again. 2 Deagles, 3 CZs. Over on iNTACT, 4 AKs, and the AWP. Just a standard setup for iNTACT. They've got everything they need and tons of money in the bank if things go awry here. Swan waiting patiently for this push to come in, and it's just such a smart play by iNTACT, knowing that Furia can be a little bit aggressive on their pistol rounds. And finding one there. Able J gets a trade in, but Willmeister responds right on back. Gets a second, looking for the third now, and Vinny will fire it away. That is a nice shot, and another one! Vinny with the Wandeeks here on the B site. Willmeister and Swan going down by his hand. Vinny and Yuri still standing, and Vinny firing through the smoke. Now connects on 2 shots on Spongy. Looking for Shake, but cannot get another one. What an effort by Vinny, though, threading the needle on 2 headshots with that Deagle. Yuri, the last one standing, to know where he is, and he's going to go down pretty handily to Shake. Vinny, the best effort we've seen so far on a pistol round by Furia. Back to the first one anyway, the first round of play. Anyway, 11-1 in favor of iNTACT. On the season, iNTACT is 5-0 on Overpass, like I mentioned earlier. 80 rounds for and 34 rounds against. 3-0 in the playoffs on Overpass as well. Not to mention, they 16-0'd, that's toxic, in the regular season as well. Turismo going to walk out there at Fountain, find Art, and Shake's going to follow up, try to do some damage as well. HE Grenade going to fly in from Z Connector coming from Furia. They're on a full buy again, but it doesn't even look like it. At least Queserado's going to finally chime in here with the frag on Willmeister and some utility from iNTACT. Queserado flicking back and forth. Furia just hoping for something to get things going. Turismo responds, Queserado's down, so Long A's exposed. Furia sees lots of smoke coming in iNTACT. Perfect execution on this A side, just a slight gap here. Turismo jumps up, peeks out his head, and Able J makes it count. He gets traded out immediately by Shake. Now a 3v2, Vinny and Yuri. Still standing, and Vinny's in the smoke. Could try to pop out soon, waiting for Yuri to come and support. Vinny at Bank, Yuri at Dumpster, Shake at Default, Swan at Long A, and Spongy at Short A. All angles are covered here by iNTACT. Swan waiting for something to happen here. He sees Vinny's head, goes for the flick, as Swan would. He can hit those shots, but misses. Flashman coming in. Shake spots out Yuri. That leaves only Vinny to try and clutch it once more. Gets the first one on Shake. Knows one's at long, probably one at short as well, and he's waiting for Spongy to peek his head out. Fires away. Spongy dodges momentarily, and Vinny finds a second. Fakes the defuse again. Has to get a quick frag on Swan, but Swan going to get the killing blow, and again in the 1v1, iNTACT comes out on top. We're in round number 14, and iNTACT are just taking things in their hands. 12-1. With only 2 rounds remaining to be played here in this first half, it will take a Herculean comeback from Furia in the second half if they cannot find at least 1 or 2 more rounds here in this first half. It's not going to be easy. Their economy's broken. A Scout, UMP-45, FAMAS, CZ, and a Deagle round out their buy over on iNTACT. Need I say it? But 4 AKs and an op. Swan coming in. Look at this aggression from him as Willmeister finds the first frag on Art. Furia down a man once more. Struggling to find that opening frag in these rounds. This would be 0-13 if Rich was playing in the chat. I'm not too sure about that as Swan going to get another one on Vinny. Then you see Turismo get the headshot on Able J, was pushing up aggressively. And like I said, that aggression just has not worked for Furia because iNTACT's expecting it every single time. Queserado pushing up short A. There's a nice little Wandig. Willmeister waiting for Queserado to push up. He does. Doesn't know Willmeister's there, does Queserado. And now it's up to Yuri in Z Connector. Could catch off Willmeister and does. Gets an AK for himself, which he'll probably want to carry over into that next round. The economy is not too strong and Vinny needs a drop. Swan throwing a few flashbangs. They're missing the ones he wanted to get. He wanted to get it in that window, I imagine, but missed it. Yuri finds an exit frag on Shake, but the money's so strong for iNTACT, they can just chase as much as they want to here. Swan comes out. Yuri finds him as well. There's a 3K for him on the exit frags. Spongy the last one standing, and I think he's just going to chase as well. Like I said, they can buy pretty much whatever they need in that next round. Spongy hunting around, but regardless of what happens here, oh, Yuri does find the 4K. There you go. Something to celebrate for Furia, but they do lose the round 13-1 in favor of iNTACT. '15th and final round of play. These two squads both predicted to go into MDL next season, either through the relegation tournament or by winning here tonight. iNTACT cannot be disappointed with their performance so far on Overpass. Everything is going their way. One thing that's great about Counter-Strike, though, is you never know what can happen. 13-1 or 14-1 can turn into a 16-14 loss. We've seen it happen many times before at all levels of play. So you can't let your guard down at any point. Turismo going to come out here, finds nothing actually. Queserado gets the opening frag finally for Furia. They're getting it rolling here. Able J with 2. Spongy responds for 1, but they have a 4v2 in the final round of play. Furia getting the frags they need. Spongy's going to have to charge forward, do that molly, and he's going to be exposed as a result. Art gets 1, leaving only Swan standing, who's getting pushed here by Yuri, and he goes down. So Furia finally get a second round victory. It took them quite some time to get it, but 13-2 is the final score here in the first half of action. Heading into the second half, guys, I do hope you're enjoying the cast so far. I am JRT, and if you are enjoying it, would appreciate a follow at JRTTV with 2 E's at the end. You'll find that in the top left-hand corner of your screen. I'll post highlights on my Twitter after after the cast and all that fun stuff. Check me out there, and of course at JRTTV without the 2 E's at the end on Twitch. As we're getting started here in the 16th round of action, don't forget, guys, type ! giveaway in the chat if you want some cool swag from, I believe it is G Fuel. They have a giveaway, 1 tub of Dr. Disrespect's Black on Berry flavor with the Mountaintop Shaker. Just type ! giveaway, guys, in the chat if you want to get in on the action there. But we'll get back to this action. iNTACT versus Furia facing off. This is the ESEA Advanced Season 29 Finals. And Furia is down by quite a margin. They need this pistol round, without a doubt. Let's see if Spongy can pull off some more magic here, but Vinny just walks into long bathrooms, jumping around, finds Turismo. AbleJ gets Swan as well. Great start for Furia. Spongy trying to respond. Like I said, you gotta watch him. Could get the 2K and does. Behind the corner now, surviving the engagement. 3v3. Spongy a thorn in their side. Yuri walks past. And Art is charging up as well. Yuri with another headshot there, but through the smoke, Spongy connects a third for him and trying to find Yuri as well. Shake and Spongy stacked up together. The bomb spotted out in Yuri's hands. Yuri gets one on Spongy, making it a 1v2 in favor of Furia. Now Shake is going to be greeted by K-Serrato shortly. That pop flash does not connect, but it doesn't matter. K-Serrato finds that frag on Shake, and that's the start Furia needed. But Spongy made it a lot tougher than Furia would have liked in that first round. 13-3 in favor of iNTACT. Oh boy. Things are heating up now. We'll see if Furia can continue the momentum here in this second half of action. Only picking up 2 rounds in that first half. And you saw Yuri getting it going. Swan with that scout. Very lethal indeed. Good pop flash thrown by Furia. And now iNTACT's going to back off. They have a little bit of a... Not a little bit, a 3-man stack. One on top of the other. Getting that FAMAS to get some view into construction. But in the meantime, Art is going to take out Willmeister in lower B. Art going to go back and get that bomb. And iNTACT hoping that someone's going to come into construction here. Thing is, yeah, if someone comes around from A, they're in trouble. And there goes Swan at the A site. That leaves the 3-man stack kind of exposed as Furia is going to charge forward, realize no one's on long at A, and get that bomb planted there. iNTACT might just want to save these guns into the next round. We'll see what they decide to do. Mochilla arriving late to the finals. How could you, Mochilla? The most important map of the season and match of the season. And you're late? Goodness. Vinny coming into that A site, still using all the utility R Furia, making sure that iNTACT doesn't catch them off guard close range. And iNTACT's not really moving yet. Still got the stack going. There they come, Spongy. Rotating around. No defuse kit though, so I would imagine that iNTACT's just going to be content to save whatever they've got here into this next round. So likely going to be a 4th round victory for Furia. And like I said, guys, never ever count any team out in Counter-Strike at any level of play, especially if that team is Furia, who went 60-0 in the regular season. K-Serrato waiting patiently. Nice shot by Turismo, though. He gets a gun for himself as well. Good little upgrade to the MP5 SD. K-Serrato going to try firing through Squeaky Door, but Furia don't want to lose any more guns, and they're just going to hang back and be content with that round victory. 13-4 in favor of iNTACT. In the last match, the top frags for iNTACT were Sheikh Zola, 23-12 in the first match, and Willmeister, 21-16 in the second one. Over on Furia's end, it was pretty much the Yuri show. He had 68 frags, 1.42 KDR, and an ADR of 107.6. Art in construction here. Willmeister is going to charge up, and he gets his head taken off by Art. And now Art's going to get traded back by Turismo, though. A good response by iNTACT, but they still are on a bit of a save round here, a half save. They brought some guns into this one, into this round from the previous one. Furia. Got the bomb grouped up here at Playground. Vinny carrying on his back, followed by Caserado. In the chat, the Fun Dip asking, is the RMU game later? I thought it was happening right now, actually, but you might want to check HLTV for that information. As Furia going to charge forward here at long A. Able J going to get that molly from that. Could force Spongy out of this corner. It does. Able J spots him out. Swan still hiding with the MP5S, and Able J is going to make no mistake of it. Shake is the last one standing. UMP 45 in hand. And I'm not sure if he's going to want to upgrade to the M4 anyway next round, but UMP is no slouch of a weapon. And iNTACT don't really have any reason to force the issue. Up 9 rounds. Well, we'll be 8 after this one. Unless Shakezilla goes completely ham. As the bomb ticks away now. Oh, Shake goes for the peek. Yuri takes his head off. That's going to be that. 13-5 in favor of iNTACT. Furia, though, 3-0 so far in this second half. And who else but Yuri at the top now with 17 frags, 17-12. Able J, 14-13. Then it's Vinny, 10-15. Able J and Yuri, the only ones above the 500 mark, though. Over on iNTACT, Spongy, Turismo, and Swan are getting the frags. Shake is under 500 at 10-11, and same for Willmeister at 10-16. I think Willmeister is underperforming a little bit in this one. We'll see if he picks it up on the second half, where they're of course going to need him, I should say. Oh man, there's a ton of damage happening here. Did Furia just walk through a ton of nades and mollies? Anyway, Vinny's gonna walk out, not too fussed about it. Get the 2K, Turismo and Spongy going down. And iNTACT now gutted. Only 3 players left standing. And I thought Furia would be in a bit of trouble with all that damage being taken from the utility early on, but not to be. So Furia going to get a 6-round victory, and iNTACT's buy round not going well at all. Caserado chasing down for some frags, trying to do more damage here to the economy of iNTACT. He's going to head down to lower B tunnels maybe, or nope, they're going to go into Playground. Willmeister set up for a nice crossfire with Shake. But Caserado goes down. Art tries to find one and does on Shake. We'll see if Willmeister peeks around the corner. Art down to 2 HP. But Art still survives into this next round. The important part is, at least for the time being, Willmeister and Swan are alive. Able J peeks around the corner. He goes down, and Furia wants to be careful here with their economy. Don't want to lose too many guns, as they aren't exactly built up that much. Anyway, Furia going to get their 6th round victory. iNTACT now only up 13-6. It was 13-2 at one point, guys. The SCO saying 16-13 incoming. I don't know. iNTACT's, like I said, very strong. I'd be surprised to see them go without winning a single round here in this second half of action, but crazier things have happened. Shake, Turismo, Willmeister are going to go for that 3-man stack again here. And we'll see if it works out. Furia has not seen it yet, because they did not come around towards that B site. Yuri, with the AK in hand, jumping around looking for some information at short A. Doesn't see anything, so just holds his ground for the time being. And now Furia going to charge forward into Z connector and towards that B site. This is where that stack could be very effective if they come through that squeaky door. We'll see what Furia decides to do. Nothing yet. 1 minute on the clock. And now they've sent 3 members at short A. Swan is there with the op. They're going to get their flashbangs out without a doubt, and a smoke as well to try and block off his vision. Oh, Swan misses the shot there. A rare miss for Swan. And he's going to throw a smoke into bathrooms. Looking for another one. Goes for the repeak. Doesn't connect on Art, and Art responds with that frag. So A site is pretty much exposed here. And now iNTACT. No, they're still going to hold that stack. Oh man, here they come. This could be the difference maker here. Will's going to find one. Do they know he's there now? I'm not sure. Anyway, they're going to drop off. They get that opening frag in the round, and now Furia has to second guess themselves with that immediate response. iNTACT rotating around fully to that B site. A little too early though. Spongy picked up the op and now notices that Furia is headed towards A. Good shot by Spongy there, finding Able J. And now a 4v3. iNTACT not out of this round yet. Shake's going to find another. Yuri responds for one, but it's a 3v2 in favor of iNTACT. And time's going to run out. No time left for Furia to plant the bomb. That's going to be that. iNTACT do find their 14th round victory. And Furia, for all intents and purposes, should have had that one. But that 3-man stack, like I said, they didn't see it. And that was the difference at the end of the day. 14 rounds. 2 more. And iNTACT wins the first map against Furia. Match going to be paused once more, guys. That is insane. Time running out on Furia. As really the reason, and again, I want to go back to that stack. They were going to charge forward to the B site. That was their play, but it got thrown for a loop when they're charging. The first player leading the charge got taken out, and they hesitated, backed off, and then time ran out as they were trying to go for their execute. So pause going to end here. iNTACT restore their 8-round lead. Another pause actually going to be called, so maybe iNTACT and Furia exchanging pauses here. 3 AKs, an SG553, and an AWP will be bought up by Furia. Over on iNTACT, I imagine they're going to upgrade to 4 M4A4s and the AWP, but they might rock 2 ops here. I think Spongy, yeah, Spongy has enough. He won't have any utility if he buys it, but maybe Willmeister can buy him the op and let Spongy get a little more utility as a result. And I think that might have been what happened. Or, well, they had enough money. Willmeister sells 6K, so I guess they just had enough. Double op setup coming in. Swan and Spongy going to be rocking those 3 M4A4s. Round out the buy. And here we go. Round number 21. Who would have thought? iNTACT 14. Furia 6. Willmeister priming that molly and throwing it on over. And towards the exit from T-spawn. And now iNTACT going to go for a bit of an aggressive play here. Towards long A. Shake's caught off here, but he makes it work anyway. Gets the 2K as Yuri charges forward as well as Spongy. Spots out Art in the pit, in Canal. And now Furia are down to a 5v2 in their bye round. iNTACT just picking them apart. Shake jumping around desperately, and I'm surprised Furia did not connect on him while he was in the air. They gave him a chance to plant his feet on the ground, and once he did, the 2K flew right on in. Serrato going for a bit of a boost here with Yuri from construction to get information. I think they have that info. Let's see what they do with it now. Serrato, the top frag in the regular season, and Yuri, the top frag in the playoffs. Let's see if they can combine here to pull this one off. Deciding to rotate back towards that A site, maybe, or just make some noise and fake it. Well, it's not going to work anyway. Spongy gets his second on Yuri, leaving only Serrato standing with the bomb in iNTACT's possession. This is very likely going to be a 15th round victory for iNTACT, and you see Willmeister pinching in. He heard the footsteps from Serrato, so just wants to keep his presence slightly unknown here, but throws the flashbang, and of course now Serrato has to worry about him as well. So, Spongy and Shake coming in with all 4 frags in the round. Willmeister trying to get on the board as well, and he likely will here on Serrato if he can finish him off. 48 HP for Serrato, but just cannot do it. He comes out on top, and now Serrato just going to let the time run out. He's going to be chased down here. iNTACT don't want to let him save his gun into this next round. Swan throwing a grenade, a flashbang, everything, trying to come around that corner and finish off Serrato, but Serrato has other plans. He stays standing and brings this AK into what could be the final round of play for Furia. iNTACT has, count 'em, 9 match points here to get things done. Match going to be paused. Again, so many match pauses being called here. But I mean, there's a lot on the line. An MDL spot to the winner of this series. It's a best of 3, guys. This is the first map on Overpass. The next one is going to, of course, be on Mirage. And Mirage is the map that Furia has really dominated so far this season. 4 matches played, 4 wins, no losses, 64 rounds for, and only 25 rounds against, plus 39 on the season. That said, Masked Esports did push Furia to 16-14 on Mirage. That was in the regular season, though, not the playoffs. Here we go. Pause has now ended. And iNTACT looking to seal it off right here and right now. Furia have a Galil, 3 AKs on the AWP, and they're just going to go for this one. Having the lurk on the B site, trying to make some noise and draw attention to B. That's Queserado. iNTACT, aggressive push by Willmeister to rock at long A. Willmeister and Spongy both have a decent amount of MDL experience under their belts. Willmeister with 2 seasons, Spongy with 4, and Spongy has played all 4 of those MDL seasons with Vision Gaming until about mid-season when he went separate ways. And that led to him being picked up by iNTACT, of course. Willmeister took last season off just to kind of, I guess, focus on other things, but he's back this season. Hadn't played any Counter-Strike before jumping in with iNTACT, and it looks like he's hasn't missed a beat. Swan going to get a couple here on Able J and Yuri. No harm, no foul there. Willmeister finds a third in the round, and iNTACT could pick up round number 16 right here. 5v2, make it a 5v1. Shake gets Vinny. Art, the last one standing with the AWP. He's in bathrooms, getting pinched in from all angles. iNTACT going to take round number 1, or at least map number 1 here of this series.